Hey y'all, don't mind me. I am just rebore sighting my son's 6.5 Grendel. So y'all sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. Alrighty y'all, well, we're back on the range today. And last time out with my son's 6.5 Grendel, we had the fun experience of having the scope come loose on us. That was 100% my fault. I got interrupted while I was putting that scope together on the mount. And just as I got ready to torque the scope rings, somebody was ringing the doorbell. When I got done with that, came back, saw the torque settings were all set. In my mind, I torqued those screws. Well, we didn't, and we paid the price. But today is take two, and we're going to give it another try. Alrighty, so 6.5 Grendel, take two, and we're going to do the same thing we tried to do last time. We're going to shoot 28.7 grains of CFE 223, pushing 120 grain Hornady copper. On the left-hand side, we're going to shoot 6.5 Grendel brass. On the right-hand side, we're going to shoot reformed 7.62 by 3.9 brass. And then we're going to shoot 27.5 grains of CFE 223, pushing 130 grain Hornady copper. Same thing, 6.5 brass, 7.62 by 3.9 brass. You might notice the big circle or target in the middle. That was just my, lack of better terms, aim point while I was trying to bore sight the scope, since it all came apart and went back together. And then lastly, I threw in some 115 grain hammers that we're going to try with some RL15 at 25 grains. 6.5 brass, 7.62 brass. Now, the 120 and 130 coppers, those are bullets my son chose. So we're going to see how they work for him. Myself and several other people are in the frame of thought he needs a lighter bullet. That's why I have the 115s out there. And we're going to put another tripod at risk. I have it off to the side. It's where I had the other one, but the other one still somehow managed to get hit. So we're going to get the show going and get back to the firing line. Okay, so as we hoof it back to the firing line, y'all have already seen me kind of try to give the quick bore scope on there, or bore sight on the scope. Hopefully it's going to be kind of there, because I was bore sighting it on that, 2.5 inch or 3 inch dot at 100 yards through the bore of an AR. We'll see. Hopefully with the scope tight, these will actually post a group. Okay, I'll bring you back when we get to the firing line. Alrighty. Quick shot of accuracy juice. I've changed my seeing glasses for my shooting glasses. I've reassembled the rifle. And I got 3 rounds loaded up. The 28.7 grains of CFE 223, pushing the 120 grain Hornady copper out of 6.5 Grendel brass. So this will be the top left dot. Okay. Safety off. 28.7 grains. Pardon me. CFE 223, 120 grain Hornady copper. Well, I am not seeing a hole anywhere. Safety on. Let me go take a look. Okay, so we took a moment and came in closer, First shot went here, walked him over, gonna leave it there. I suspect we're probably going to hit somewhere in here now. Good thing I brought a couple extra rounds. Okay, apologies for that delay, but that first shot gave us 2313.6 and didn't hit squat. So I ran up 25-yard line there, see just how far off and where I was off. And using that 3-inch dot that I was bore sighting on, we hit just off the left edge of it, 9 o'clock. Elevation looked okay, which tells me at 100 yards, that first shot was probably just off the left edge of the target. So I took a couple of shots, walked it in to the center of the 3-inch dot, and now we'll see if we put it on cardboard. I'm not real pleased with the way the holes look at 25 yards, but that could be a factor of the bullet not having enough time to stabilize yet. So we're going to continue on with 28.7 grains of CFE 223 and the 120 grain Hornady copper. Top left dot, and hopefully this time we'll make an impact. And that's what the 120 grain Hornady copper looks like. Got a red polymer tip and a copper projectile. Okay, here we go. Top dot. Top left dot. Set that parallax back. Okay. We got our zoom set. Okay, I see that hit. I'm still way high. 2274. So now, okay, the first hit was about 1 o'clock off the upper left-hand binder clip. 2305. 2269. Now, okay. So the last two hits with the 120 grain, elevation looked good, and they were just right of the dot. I overcorrected. We're making headway over last time. Okay, give me a minute to reload, and we'll shoot the 120 grain copper out of 7.62 by 3.9 brass that's been reformed for 6.5 Grendel. Okay, our average for the 6.5 Grendel brass pushing the 120 grain Hornady. We have 4 shots on record here for a 2291.0 average velocity, extreme spread 43.8, and a standard deviation of 18.9. So we get things reset, and we will repeat with reformed 7.62 by 3.9 brass. Now, looking at my dot, since it's so close to the right-hand edge, I am probably going to hold, what am I going to hold? I am going to put the right crosshair on the 3 o'clock spot on that dot, which is going to put the center dot, looks like 2 inches to the left of the aim point. I'm going to need some accuracy juice for this. Okay, ears in, chronograph's reset. Okay, point of the right crosshair, 3 o'clock on the dot. 2330. 2332.2. 2331.7. Okay, so now elevation looks good. Okay, 120s didn't really group up that well, but they gave us an average velocity of 2331.3 with an extreme spread of 2.2 and a standard deviation of 1. I'm wondering if the 7.62 by 3.9 brass is going to prove to give us a little more consistency. I don't know, but I think we are about done chasing the scope. I'm going to reload, reset the chronograph, and we will continue on with the 130 grain copper and 27.5 grains of CFE 223. Okay, chronograph is reset. This is 130 grain Hornady copper being pushed by 27.5 grains of CFE 223 out of 6.5 Grendel brass. We're going to be shooting on the left-hand side of the target. I don't see that at all. 2129.1. Okay, before I waste any more ammo, I'm going to go down and take a look. Well, it's really a good thing I made some extra ammo. After I shot the 7.62 brass using the crosshair, the end of the crosshair for my aim point, to put that at my aim point, I had the bright idea to readjust the scope. And there's not a hit down there. So I think I dialed the scope the wrong way and I put the rounds just off the left-hand side. So I've come back to the right a little bit and we'll see. I tell you what, it would have been so much easier if my son would have just left his scope on his upper. Okay, continuing on, trying 130 grain Hornady, 27.5 grains of CFE 223. Here we go. Nope, the scope is not loose. That was 2175. Okay, I am going to hold halfway between the dot, the left-hand dot, and that center dot. Okay, there it is. Wow. I do not understand. Well, let's see where this one ends up. Gonna hold the same. Wow. Let's go take us a walk. Okay, so this is very, very weird. 120s at least hit kind of where the scope was set once I got it reset. Came down here, nothing. Decided, okay, I was hitting to the right. I cranked it to the right a little bit. Took a shot, nothing. So then I held here and I hit here. Okay, and that made number 3. Then I took another shot and didn't see anything. And took another shot and didn't see anything. I'm looking at that hole, and that hole is not round. The 120s, they're round, but that 130's oblong. And as I'm walking up to the target, I find another oblong hit down here into the wood. We're not going to shoot the 130s out of that gun because that wood was getting kind of close to that camera. We already lost one tripod to this gun. So we're going to skip the 7.62 by 3.9 with the 130s, and we're going to drop down to the 115s. But I'm going to have to take a shot on the middle here to kind of see where the scope's at now because I started chasing it. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a chat with my son. His gun don't like the heavies, which, gotta give credit where credit's due. Somebody pointed that out to me. The 6.5 Grendel likes them lighter. So, this gun's very frustrating. But we're going to sling a couple at the center dot with the 115 hammers and see what we get. Before we sling the hammers, those 130 grainers gave us a average velocity of 2165.9 feet per second with an extreme spread of 67.9 and a standard deviation of 22.9, and didn't shoot for squat. We're not going to shoot those anymore. Okay, we're going back to that center dot. This will be 115 grain hammer with some RL15, 25 grains of RL15. Okay, well, one shot with the RL15 and I was on paper and where I need it to be. Well, not necessarily where I need it to be, but able to adjust to it. That first shot was 2146. We're going to end up with 5-shot average for velocity, but we're going to see how they shoot here. Bottom left-hand dot. 2203.8. 2182.2. 2182.0. I guess we weren't fully in battery. I'm going to say these need a little more speed to run. Well, that's weird, because that did not hit the firing pin at all. The firing pin did not hit that at all. Let me take a quick look inside. Okay, so let's see what happens here now. And if everything works, I'll tell you what I found. $2373.7. So, what I found, I need to talk to my son about cleaning his rifle. The firing pin was carboned up. Okay, 115 grain hammers with 25 grains of RL15 gave us an average of 2217. Extreme spread was 227.3. Standard deviation was 80.2. That last shot went way, way, way fast. But they pretty much hit where I was aiming. I don't know what the twist rate is on this barrel, but we're going to find out, I think. Or try to find out. I'll ask my son if he knows, because I don't see it written on here anywhere. Yeah, no idea. Okay, last shots. Let me reset the chronograph. Chronograph's reset. Let me get a shot of accuracy juice. And let me tell you what, my son's 6.5 Grendel is very frustrating. Okay, 115 grain hammers coming out of reformed 7.62 by 3.9 brass. Those puppies they need to be seated a little deeper. These are just barely magazine length. I need to go a hair deeper with them. We may have some feeding issues with this batch. Okay, bottom right-hand dot, 25 grains of RL15, 115 grain hammer, in the 6.5 Grendel out of 7.62 by 3.9 brass reformed. First shot 2219.0. 2231.3. 2234.8. 2201.2. 2222.9. They fed okay, but they were scraping up the front of the magazine. So, Marius, you're absolutely correct. 6.5 Grendel wants lighter bullets, and we proved that today. Now I just have to convince my son. So, I still have some more 115 hammers that we can work up a suitable load with. I think 115 is probably going to be the heaviest you're going to want to run for hunting with this. So, let's go pull that target and talk. Well, that was quite a learning experience. Scope's not loose this time, but that rifle really doesn't like the 130 grain bullets. Makes me glad that this range has baffles. I know we didn't hit a baffle, but as wonky as the 130s we're flying, not good. Not good at all. Okay, I'll bring you back when we get to the target. Okay. Oh, it's still running. And it's still got battery. That was a exercise, that's for sure. And you know what? Those puppies ain't running true either. They're kind of going wonky. There's not a round hole amongst them. Interesting. Maybe 115s are still too heavy for it, but at least they're shooting. The 120s were the only ones that seemed to posted a round hole. The 130s and the 115s are keyholing. Huh. Okay, let's pull that target and head back to the under the cover. Close to an exercise in futility today. I started out here with the 120 grain Hornady copper. We'd bore sight it, took 2 shots. Pardon me, we took a shot and there was nothing. I said, well, I brought extra ammo, so we came up front, took a shot. We hit here, we walked it over, called it good. But then when we took the first shot, or the second shot at 100, went up here. Redialed, came here, said okay, brought it back to the left a little bit. And then we went to the reformed 7.62 brass. And I put the right hand crosshair right here, which put my aim point out here somewhere, and popped 3 rounds right there. I was actually happy with that. Went to the 130s, nothing out here. Ended up finding a hit here, and didn't see anything else in the other stuff, and found a hit down here, which almost took the leg of a tripod. And this gun almost has 2 tripods to its name. 1 deer and 2 tripods. I said, we're not shooting the 130s anymore. Came back here with the 115, said, I don't know where the scope is now, so I'm going to take a shot. Took first shot with the 115, and it hit up here. And you can see that that is not a round hole. Adjusted the scope, shot the next 4, got 1, 2, 3, 4. Went to the reformed brass, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and none of them are round. I don't know. I'm going to have to try to figure out if I'm not running them fast enough or if I need to run them faster. I'm thinking they need to go faster. The 120s running 2200, we're punching round holes, so hard to say. I still don't know what the twist rate is on this barrel. I'll have to find out if my son knows. So the 5-shot average for the 115 grain hammers in the reformed 762 brass. Average was 220. Let me start that over again. The average was 2221.8, extreme spread of 33.6, and a standard deviation of 11.8. I will have to look into GRT and see if see how much wiggle room I have in the pressure range for the RL15, and I'm going to have to do a lot more research on 6.5 Grendel because, like I said, I had several people comment that 120s and 130s are too heavy for Grendel. It needs to be a lighter projectile, and we seem to be proving that today. The upper, I have no idea who makes it. It just says it's made in USA, and it's the Grendel Hunter. So whoever makes the Grendel Hunter, I might have to do a little Google search on that and see what comes up. This is a frustrating rifle, but man, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Not every day on the range is the best day on the range, but we got the gun running. I need to have a couple of chats with my son, namely about cleaning that bolt carrier and the bolt, because that firing pin was gummed up. That's why it went click click a couple of times. So I've got a bunch of brass to clean up, and I think we're going to call it a day. I really appreciate y'all hanging with me. I really do, even when I have a not so great day on the range. As always, I want to remind y'all, stay strapped or get clapped. Carry everywhere you can. Get a CCW if you need one. It's still crazy out there. And there's a whole lot of people that don't like the majority of us. So keep yourself safe. Keep your family safe. Remember, you are your own protection. I really do, like I said, really do appreciate y'all hanging with me. Hopefully we'll have a Rise Trigger soon. We'll see. I've reached out to them. I want to try that Rise Trigger on my Remington 700. Maybe we'll get eventually a Rise Trigger for one of the ARs. But I'm starting to ramble. Again, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. As always, y'all remember, stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time.
Send it.
Hit.